What's up, honeys? It's KBC and I'm back with yet another video. So in this video, the title of this video is called If You Are Not Invested with the Melanated Man and the Melanated Woman, then you need to shut your mouth. We're going to be talking about Dr. Boyce Watkins and him speaking out about the nuclear family and how people who are not invested in the melanated man and the melanated woman should not be speaking on those type of relationships because they're not invested in those type of relationships and they're not really trying to build our community or unify our community. And as this whole Kevin Samuels conversation has been going around, a lot of people have been voicing their opinion. So Dr. Boyce Watkins did voice his opinion on it. And I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on it too, because I kind of feel the same way. And also some other melanated men are talking about the negative effects of this gender kind of back and forth content that's taking place on YouTube. Like, you know, you got the women that's telling folks to go this way. You got the men telling the men go this way. And just all of this back and forth. But all of this is causing dissension and division in the community, and it's not really helping to build the nuclear family in the melanated community, the so-called Black community that's going to bring our community back together if we fix the true issue at hand, which is building the nuclear family that was destroyed, okay? Or is really sitting there hanging like this. So if you like this sort of content, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and let's get started. All right, y'all. Shalom, 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 shalom alaikum. Hey, everybody that's watching. We're going to get started. So before I get started, y'all, I need to get me something to drink, okay? But yeah, y'all stay tuned. I'm still talking to y'all. But anyway, what I was saying, y'all, we gonna make me a little coffee while I'm talking to y'all. I'm at the coffee station in my house. We're gonna talk a little bit about this. Today, we're gonna be sipping on a little bit of International Delight. Just gonna need a little coffee as I'm talking to y'all. As I'm talking to you, I'm gonna have my little coffee right there. Stir it. I would use my metal straw, but I don't feel like going in there. Because we having like a little, you know, a conversation. Now back to it, y'all. Grab your own coffee, your own tea. You know, we get into the honey for the tea on this channel. And basically, the honey for the tea, if you are new to this channel, is basically the honey, the milk and honey, like when you think about it in the Bible, it's or the Torah, it's talking about Yah's promises. And basically in life's negativity, it's always a sweet side, or you could look at the focus being Yah to where you can put his sweet news or his word, his sweetness, his honey on the world's negative situation, because it's always a brighter side or a sweeter side at the end of all of this negativity that's going on in the world, right? So I'm getting ready to get into what Dr. Boyce said. Let me pull it up, y'all, because I really felt what he was saying. Now, this is on his video on his channel. I'm going to play the audio because, you know, we don't do all of that video stuff over here. But it's Kevin Samuels spoke about melanated, it say Black women, but did he date them? Why this is important? Why this is important? Because people that, you know, they open up their mouth to give all of this feedback on, or supposedly criticism on certain people like melanated men, melanated women, but they're not giving any investments really. So he about to speak on it, and then I'm gonna give my commentary on what he said.
invested in the black woman, then keep her name out your motherfucking mouth. Let me go. Seriously. You know, I'm really just saying, if you're not invested in the black woman, then keep the black woman's name out your mouth. Now, I'm not talking about Kevin or none of that stuff. This is not about him. I told y'all, some things I liked, some things I didn't like. I've done a whole breakdown. I spent a whole hour breaking it down the other day. But I really believe that we are in a battle. We are in a fight.
I totally agree with what he was talking about. And it could go vice versa too. If you're not invested in dating a melanated man or not married to a melanated man, then you also, if you on the other side where you have gone with another type of folks, then you need to stop putting your input in on the situation because you're not vested in trying to bring this nuclear family situation back together. There are some people that think, oh, it's not going to happen, whatever. We know that that's not true because the Most High Yah told us that that's not true. He's what y'all put together, let no man put asunder, right? So if y'all bring that relationship together and he meant for that relationship to work, it's always going to work despite the little propaganda that they're trying to put in our faces. Like, if you notice now, it's a high, I would say, it's various amounts of like marketing that's pushing the melanated woman right now, in particular, with other types of guys, right, from other nations, which we know totally against Torah. Okay, it's been the melanated man. They've been got him a long time ago because if you look at the numbers for that, like you see a lot of them. It's a lot of them that marry melanated women, but it's also a lot of them that they just do not want the melanated woman at all. Like, they don't want the melanated woman, and even if they are going to other nations and communities, they're not even marrying those folks. They're making them baby mamas, all kind of stuff. So I think the important part of what Dr. Boyce is about to get into, yes, we could talk about the truths in our community, right? We could talk about all of that. But we need to be talking about the solutions, not only in investing in fixing the issues, other than bagging on and trying to bash each other back and forth. And you really not, if you're not invested, what you speaking on the situation for, that's like somebody who you ain't putting out a nickel, nary a nickel or dime into a restaurant. Or y'all know, y'all got them family members that's always complaining about something. Or, or complaining about what the barbecue, the food, and all that other stuff. They ain't providing no food for the barbecue. They ain't bring nothing. They ain't, always got something to say, but they ain't contribute no money to nothing. Y'all know what type of family members I'm talking about. This is the same type of situation that I'm talking about. Now, the reason why I feel like I could give a real good perspective on this is because did I divest in the past? And when I say divest, I don't mean like I totally counted brothers out, because I never looked at melanated men like, oh my God, let me just get rid of them and I never date them ever again. Like, I never looked at it like that or whatever. When I did interracially date in the past, it was a beautiful situation. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It was a beautiful situation. That person was very loving, very caring. I just truly believe that the Most High, with me being this is before I even knew I was Israelite, y'all. The Most High did not want that to go forth. You feel what I'm saying? And when you belong to Him, He will pull you away from stuff that He don't want you to have. Even if you want it, it's always going to be what He wants for you. Even if it takes you the long way around, He'll always pull you to what He wants for you. So and let me just state this. I don't have any issues with other nations or other people of other nations. I'm very loving to all types of people. You get what I'm saying? I don't have that heart where I look at, oh my gosh, these people, whatever. I'm not like that. I'm very loving. I believe that there's people that are Gentiles that they are supportive of the work. And I believe that, you know, it's negative people no matter what nation that you're from. Let me just state that. So I didn't look at that situation like, you know, anything bad happened with that situation from me divesting. So, or not really, I don't really call it divesting. I interracially dated and I didn't have a negative experience. You know, a lot of people, they hope that a lot of people have negative experiences with that. I was not one of those people, because I think what it was is, me personally, I didn't set out to get into an interracial relationship. It just happened. You feel what I'm saying? But the Most High Yah, he didn't want me, I feel like, to go forth with it. So he, you know, just pulled it up. He just pulled it apart. And that person is still a good person, but that person also, I believe, knew that the Most High Yah was pulling me in another direction. So he just respected that the Most High Yah was pulling me in another direction. You feel what I'm saying? But even in that, I never was like, oh, let me just discount the melanated man. Like, I feel like the people that do that are negative people, and they really have a problem with self. When you could just sit there and you just bash your own people all the time, then you lift up another group of people, you don't have self-love. And I don't care what nobody say, you do not have self-love doing that. I don't care how negative or what's going on. Like, when you come into the truth, you realize that a lot of this stuff is happening due to spiritual warfare and things that's happening in the community. So you can't just get online projecting your brokenness, your just bugged out mindset, and then you start indoctrinating people, having them believe that this and this and this is about your brother and sister, and then you causing this division instead of providing a solution to the problem. So I had to state all of this, okay? Because I see it from both perspectives. I could see it. I get the sisters that's upset with the melanated man because of stuff going on in the community. I get the brothers that's upset with the melanated woman because stuff is going on in the community. Now we need to start talking about the solutions to these situations at hand. And this is what Dr. Boyce is about to get into. So I'm telling y'all as a person that I've seen it from both sides. And I also feel like in doing the healing work for my, you know, for myself and spending time with the Most High Yah, I have a video where I talked about this on my Mocha Modesty channel, where I talked about how the Most High Yah reawakened the love for the melanated man in my heart. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of women, and it's also a lot of men, that they're very bitter towards the man or the woman. They're very bitter due to experiences, but they're not realizing the word clearly tell us we don't war against flesh and blood. We war against demons and principalities in high places. High places, I told y'all in the last video, are altars. So the enemy is vested in you not getting together with your kingdom spouse, whether it be, you know, your kingdom husband, you man, your kingdom wife. He's vested in that. Why? Because the enemy know that a man get with a wife, his life is extended, favor from the Most High Yah. He's able to think about things clearly because now he's working for a higher purpose. Now he's doing the work of the kingdom by family building, family planning, kingdom planning. He's able to, number one, he's submitting himself to the Most High Yah and submitting himself to Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. He's submitting himself. So therefore, he's now able to love properly, where he's loving properly. That's causing the woman to put her defenses down, because women right now, they in straight survival mode, right? We are in straight war mode, straight survival mode. We don't trust. We looking around the corner like this. Oh no, bro, you asking me out. I got to go because I don't know what you gonna do type vibe. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a distrust over here with the women, and it's a distrust with men, because men looking around the corner too. They seeing all these, you know, how they say 304s and all of this stuff. They're not realizing that with that 304 stuff, it's generations and generations of things that cause that. See, men like to talk about the, not all men, but some of these men, they like to talk about the symptoms, but they don't like to get down to the root cause. I'm going to use the line of Judah, for example. If you got things like Judah was somewhere, he got into wickedness because he went out looking for a 304, a 1099, not realizing that 1099 was going to be his daughter-in-law. Also, the whole internation marrying, he ended up getting with a woman from another nation, and it caused division in his household because then his sons did not have the proper loyalty and I would say allegiance to their own people. That sort of stuff. That's why the Most High Yah really don't want you getting into that, because when you get into those other nations have other customs that's not sure. It's not that those people a lot of the times are negative people. The Most High Yah wants your focus to be on him. So a lot of the times he'll pull you from that. Like I told y'all about the whole interracial story. He pulled me from that because he wanted me to, when I have my kids and stuff like that, he wants them to see that nuclear family structure of, I'm saying Israelite, but y'all know what I mean. Melanated, so-called Negro, black nuclear family structure where they see the man, they see the husband, they see the wife, and they know that this is what the power structure is. This is what is giving the Most High Yah glory. This is what is going to keep me in favor and cause me to be prosperous. And I'm also going to have more so a loyalty to my own people because I look at these people and these are my people. I'm going to be able to have, if you from that king lineage, proper leadership to where I ain't going to owe nobody else no explanations. Because a lot of the times when you in those relationships, you cannot be 100 to your own people in a sense of, and I'm just using this from the Torah. So this is my personal opinion. This is what the Torah is saying. With that Judah situation, Judah's son did not want to get with the daughter-in-law that was an Israelite, because Judah wanted him to breed back into the Israelite line. Like, that's the family line. It's what you need to be on. He did not want to do that, so he kept on spilling the seed, and the Most High Yah just was like, he's up out of here, because he didn't want to go forth and multiply to have that royal family line keep going. So, in a sense, I look at it like, I'm not going to not procreate with it to keep the royal bloodline going. It has to keep going. So, that's also, it's like, a lot of times too in this westernized culture, they think love is a feeling. Love is not a feeling in Hebraic terms. It's a divine duty. I'm going to do what I say regardless of whether I like you at this moment or not. That is how the Most High Yah shows unconditional love. You do a lot of stuff he don't like, but he still have that sun come up every morning for you. He still make sure he provides what he say he's going to provide for the relationship. We are oftentimes the people who don't, I would say, hold up to the end of the bargain, and we supposed to end up, holding up to it. So why I had to say this is the symptoms is oftentimes the focus, but they're not looking at what happened way back when in the family line. Sin and those things, the Most High Yah said he gonna visit your children and your children's children when you sin and commit wickedness. Okay, so you getting into them 1099s. You thinking that you going through the whole cheerleading team on your running through the streets with my woes type of time. Somebody gonna pay for that. Even if you go on to the glory, your children gonna answer for that. If you don't repent for that stuff, your children are going to be the ones answering for that. So they looking at these young ladies, and I'm using the line of Judah for an example. So Judah had things going on. He done messed with the daughter-in-law. What is that? You're not supposed to be messing with your daughter-in-law. It's a law in the Torah. So it's a violation. Not to mention, you now, the Most High Yah say you mess with them pros, you becoming one with that. That's a problem. Okay, so you done became one flesh with that. Now you done lowered your state. So it's acts of lasciviousness. All of these things, the evidence of these things, people be like, oh, well, I'm a good person, I live a good life. But your ancestors, way back in the day, the Most High Yah's law is clear. You do all of this lasciviousness and promiscuity and all of that stuff, and you end up seeing the results in your now life, which is stuff like, when you sensual pervasiveness, I'm gonna say, but you know what the real word is, you start seeing evidence of that. So them dudes and women that like to run the street, they start seeing, or the women that like to be online on all of that, they start seeing the evidence in their children. Like things where they like that strange fruit, if you know what I mean. Things where you could see in the natural realm it's manifesting. But I had to put that out there because I'm like, we like to talk about the problems in our community, but we're not really invested in really solving these problems a lot of the times with a lot of these people. They don't talk about the solutions. They just talk about the symptoms.
We are in the fight of our lives. In the 1980s.
All right, y'all. So let me run it back just a little bit. Thought the camera was going, but...
Economist. My PhD is in finance, so I read The Economist because
And just to explain, so briefly, Dr. Boyce is getting ready to go into how, back in the 80s, that I call it that paid in full era where folks was out in the street selling that stuff. You had the mothers that was on that stuff, the fathers that was on that stuff, in the street selling that stuff, and they was just getting hauled off and put in the lockup for that. People was going on to the glory. Kids was just going on to the glory, and that broke up the nuclear family unit. So it was a deliberate breaking up of the nuclear family unit. Now, anybody that understands this or understands the history of this is a form of, like I said, it's spiritual warfare, but it was naturally manifested as that, right? So this is what he is explaining. You have men and women that they try to pretend like this is not what happened. And we could clearly see the devastating effects on the situation. So it's like, I'm not saying that you have to put up with stuff with that, because it's like, again, at a certain point, if you belong to the Most High Yah, he's going to come and get his children, and your mindset should be renewed. So therefore, when I'm looking at the melanated man, I'm looking at the situation different, and I'm like, it might be factors. This is why this, but that doesn't mean I have to be tolerant of stupidity now. Let's just be honest. And the same with that, with the women. And what you do is you have this information, you go and pray about that situation. But he getting ready to get into how that messed up the nuclear family, all of that, them hauling off the eligible bachelors, because it eliminated it. Like, they literally got rid of that whole idea. And if you see a lot of it, where they're trying to really go after the men and the women with this sort of content they put out on social media. Like, you have a lot of men that participate, I would say, in what they call, I would say psychological terms, infantilism, where you see a lot of the rappers have little, young, the baby. So the men, they don't graduate in levels of thought. That's why the Most High Yah say, when I was a child, I thought as a child. But eventually you're supposed to have a graduation of your thought process. Well, guess what? In the Western world, they're not. That's why you see a lot of these men, they don't have, they're not leading in the education. They're not even finishing high school. So that's keeping them lagging as far as financially too, probably. Because he about to get into it. Dr. Boyce got the stats.
PhD is in finance, so I read The Economist because I like high-level economics. This is all related to economic theory, believe it or not. they did an analysis, and what they found was that in the African American community, they said that there is a significant imbalance between the numbers of marriage-eligible Black women and the number of marriage-eligible Black men.
Come on.
They connected it directly to Joe Biden's mass incarceration in the 1990s.
I told y'all that paid in full, 80s to the 90s.
And which was driven by the crack cocaine epidemic when they dumped all that coke into your community.
So knowing that you got to look at things from a different perspective when you're looking at our people, the chosen people, they really do not want us to get to a point where, like the prodigal son, we rise up and get out that slop and realize I got to get back to my father's house, because this stupidity that I'm involved in and the stuff that I'm getting into, this is not becoming of me. And what I'm noticing is you have young women growing up without elderly like examples, like women to model after being what a woman is, what a wife is. They don't even really have an understanding of what that concept is, a lot of them. Then you have a lot of the elder women now, they in the competition with some of these young women. Then you have the men, like I said, they're into the whole infantilism where they don't ever graduate, some of them, in thought. And this is not all men and women, because let me specify, I'm not one of those people that be like, oh, women and men. Some women and some men participate in this, but this is what's going on. So all of this is trying to tear at the power structure of the nuclear family unit. Where else have we seen that? What other three-letter folks have we seen that from, where on their mission statement it said that that's what they were coming for? They wanted to tear that down. But if we get into it or whatever, I want to get into another video where it's a content creator named Chisha Zed who had a video where he also did a video on Dr. Boyce Watkins. Okay, so he has a video called Boyce Says Stop Complaining, Black Men, It's Your Fault. So we're going to get into the clip that I want y'all to hear from that video, because it's going to get into what is going on here. All right, y'all. So there's these guys, I guess they're having a discussion about leadership in the community. Now, when I've been talking about all this Kevin Samuels content, y'all know for a fact on my video, because a couple of Kevin Samuels supporters tried to go after that video where I said, in Torah, this is the hierarchy. Men are the head of the household, leadership position. They submit, the man and woman submit themselves unto Yahushai or Yehoshua HaMashiach, who is then under Yahweh, which is Yahuwah, okay? The Most High Yah. So in that power structure, in that hierarchy, the nuclear family, and then the children is under the mother, and that is the power structure. The mother, the wife, then teaches the children the law, which is Torah. So fathers, teach and enforce Torah. The mothers teach the children Torah, and they nurture and all of that good stuff. But where it all went wrong, I told y'all, is in the garden, where Adam did not take accountability for, Eve. She beguiled by the serpent. The serpent came for Eve in particular because the serpent has enmity for the woman. The woman, even though she's the weaker vessel, she is a very powerful creature. So much so that the Most High Yah had to put a covering on her to kind of shield her from stuff. She had to be designed to be emotional, to be able to do the things that her duty, her divine duty as, a wife, a mother, and to procreate. It's an emotional experience for her to be able to attach to her child, to be able to be there for the man, all kind of stuff, you know, to be able to go with the changes that happen to her physically, to be able to take on the identity and the covering of her man. Basically, like him giving his name to her is her taking on that new identity, right? That new role, right? Her getting in line with the role that she's supposed to have. That does not mean that you are dominating, however, over a person, because it clearly states that you're supposed to love. That love is not domination, okay? Love is giving, like the Most High Yah gives you unconditional love, giving you the free will and freedom of choice. And in that love, the woman feels safe enough to submit because you are showing her love. That is the trade-off there. Somehow men have gotten into this crazy foolishness of submission somehow means they're supposed to control and to dominate. That's not what that's for. Really, the woman is really submitting to the man and following the leadership, and it's really for protection, because she is the weaker vessel as far as if you think about physically, and also to keep her from being beguiled by those serpents, those wolves. You get what I'm saying? Because during that time period, like in Torah, women, you know, they were protected by their fathers, the men of their house, you know, their brothers, all kind of stuff to keep them. You know, men can be very crafty, okay? You know, as you can see with the pump and dump culture, how they say in the manosphere or whatever, like where women, a lot of women, and this is not all women, but some women can get into silly activity where they get into silly stuff. And, you know, because women are emotional, most women, come on, they want to be married and all that other stuff. It is easy sometimes for them to be the silly ones to get led astray. So this is why the Most High Yah put protective measures for these women. But what happened is the man gave up his authority because he chose, instead of to put Eve in perspective and tell her, ma'am, we are not getting with eating none of this fruit off of this tree, okay? The Most High Yah put me in charge, and he told me we ain't doing that. So, ma'am, we ain't doing that. You need to go and do something what you got to do, ma'am, but we ain't doing that. And you could get with me. I'm over here naming these animals. If you want to put some input on that, ma'am, that'll be fine. But as far as eating off this tree, we not doing that. No, he ain't do that. He was somewhere so engulfed with her, kind of like in an idolization type of thing, because he was so captivated with her, which, you know, you shouldn't idolize anybody. A lot of men, they fall for the trap of that. We saw that with Samson. But again, this is not all men or all women. I'm just telling you what happened during the fall of that, right? Adam was supposed to be the protector, the guardianship, and he did not do that. And so he allowed the serpent to beguile Eve. Grandmother Eve just, you know, presented that fruit, and it all went from there. Adam gave up his authority because instead of him being the head, he yielded to the authority of a woman, and it all went from there because the Most High came to check him. I told you, sir. So this is what these guys are about to get into. They're talking about leadership. I had to explain because, you know, you gotta, in order to not, you know, you gotta give commentary. You can't just be having nobody video rolling and you're not giving commentary. So here it goes.
If we're the leader of the community, and if black women are so out of control, or modern women are so out of control, then ain't that on us? Yeah. Like, did we drop the ball somewhere? Because when I think about it, like, we are the least, if we're just talking about black men and black women, we are less educated than them. Yeah. And it's getting to the point where we even starting to make less money than them. Yeah. I don't think we even in a position to hold them accountable. Hold each other accountable. Let them hold each other accountable, and then we kind of come back and meet in the middle.
Let's go. No, come on now. Didn't I tell y'all that? Like, you got a lot of these. This is segueing into the ultimate point that I wanted to make on this video, is about this foolishness of this. The black man you ain't holding the woman accountable. You ain't holding the man. The back and forth with the gender stuff. And this is what Dr. Boyce Watkins was talking about. People that need to be speaking on holding folks accountable need to be folks that's actually making an investment in the community. I'll give you an example how I'm speaking on this as a woman. First of all, let's talk about this. You help correct people by being a living epistle. People don't want to hear you running that mouth on the internet. They don't want to hear that. Like, I'm sorry, but it's a lot of people, they like to browbeat them scriptures. They don't show no evidence, because wherever the anointing of the Most High is, you're gonna see it's supposed to be a living epistle where you can see the glory of the Most High. When you look at my life, because I show y'all, this is my investment to the melanated community. A lot of women, they may not have mothers, sisters, aunties, or even if they did have a mother, they may not have been given homemaker skills. On my other channel, y'all see I have employed melanated people to help me build my home, melanated contractors, people of color contractors. Y'all see I am teaching women how to home make, how to make better lives for their family, interesting date night ideas for them and their husband, things that just have quality family time, like cooking, cleaning. On my Mocha Modesty channel, I am spending time showing them what my journey was to modesty, what my thought process was before I started. And I leave stuff up for transparency. Like I told y'all, like on my other channel, KingBritneyChanel, why I left the church, how my thought process elevated and graduated. And guess what I'm seeing? I'm seeing young ladies raise their curtains up from that window encasement. I'm seeing young ladies take that makeup off so that they're not, participating in I would say witchcraft seduction, where that's helping them overcome, because now they're getting deliverance. Now they're not attracting those spirit spouses that's keeping them bound and from getting a husband. I'm showing them how to go in and pray. I'm showing them the attributes, because when you are a wife, it just doesn't start when you get married. That is something that you are trained. You're supposed to be trained up. And how do we know this? Esther and her purification process. So even these young ladies that these men complain about, the 304s of the people, Yah has offered a lifeline for these people. He has offered a lifeline. Nobody wants to hear you complain about problems and you're not offering no solution. And then people that ain't even in no position to be somewhere trying to correct nobody, ain't got a high school diploma. You don't have your life together. All these children all over here, all over there. You're not offering no solutions on actually how to bring the family together. I mean, it's just unreal. This is what these men are talking about. You should not be out here trying to give or browbeat no scriptures or nothing into nobody if you're not showing them. Prime example, it's a lot of these men that they like to browbeat these scriptures and tell you what a woman should be like and what a wife and a family should be like. They ain't showed their family yet. Ain't showed they happy, productive wife yet. Ain't showed how they got up out the hood yet. Ain't showed how they're elevating their children's life yet. Ain't showed how they're elevating just lifestyle. Like, I'm going to be showing y'all. I showed y'all many clips of me gardening. I'm going to be showing y'all gardening, growing your own food. I'm going to be showing y'all I showed y'all on my other channel how to put y'all pantry together. All of these are things that are homemaker and wifely things that you need to know. But I also show y'all the other side of wifely things, and that's knowing how to pray to cover your man during spiritual warfare. Because your man could be, let's say his personality start acting a little different. Oh no, that's seeming like a spirit spouse. Let me get my spiritual sword going. You acting a little strange, okay? Maybe that's something ancestral on your family side. And I noticed after that visit with your mom, you started acting crazy. Let me go ahead and petition the Shamayim in the court of heaven to get you right. Oh, I see that you trying to get that promotion. Let me petition the Shamayim for that. To deal with those seeds. To put a request on those seeds that were sown. All of that stuff is stuff that wives should be knowing how to do. Not just, oh, let me worship in an idle way the man. And your wife's purpose is, number one, the Most High Yah. So the man's purpose is the Most High Yah, and the woman's purpose, is the Most High Yah. The woman also is here as the helpmate, but she also has a role outside of the helpmate. She is also to do the will of the Most High, because you got to realize, on the day of judgment, you standing before the Most High Yah by yourself. So you can't be like, oh, well, my husband said, and the Most High said, but I told you. So keep that Adam experience in the thought process of that, right? So these men talking about you shouldn't be, holding these folks accountable. You got to get the mote out thine own eye before you try to come gather other folks up. You can't just be out here trying to always bash this person and that person. But I'm gonna get to the good part, because Dr. Boyce then speaks on this where he talks about men working on skills. Like, I feel like you should be showing people what they could work on to better themselves so that they could be better wives, better husbands, better children. And you do that by not just speaking out of your mouth, talking out the side of your jaw, next minute calling for the, hey, you should be doing that by showing the evidence of that. These people today, they want to see proof. They don't want to hear you running your mouth. They want to see proof. They want to know, how is sister Yaya Rahiel living like this? How is she living like this? How is sister KingBritneyChanel living like this? You get what I'm saying? Who is the Elohim that she served? Because I want to get down with him. That's how your life should be looking to people. I see, I go to, I be seeing, I say, oh, I see that person over there. They done took note of what I said. I see they cutting their bread this way. I see they doing this. They done added this. They done went on down here to go get their little, plate holders and stuff. They done got their Tupperware from the container store. I see what this is. All right, so the guy, Shisha, I think that's his name, he's about to read Boyce Watkins' post that he had on his Instagram.
This was in the caption of the post. It read, "Whether you believe in black men or black women need to be held accountable, never forget that as the black man, you play a huge role in the state of the community around you. Hold yourself accountable first and ask yourself,
Hold yourself accountable first. If you're going to be the head, you have to get the mote out thine own eye. Because I'm going to tell you, once you are good with the Most High, like you have went through your deliverance process, right? It says, seek ye the kingdom first and everything else is going to be added, right? So the Most High Yah is not a man that he shall lie, right? So his word never returns back void, right? So what that means is, if I want a relationship, like a kingdom spouse, if I want to be the ultimate like let's say men, you want a respectable woman, you want a virtuous woman, you have to go through your deliverance process where you work on bettering yourself. You have your relationship with the Most High Yah. And the Most High Yah gives you, this is going to be a revelation, the desires of your heart. Not what you want. He gives you inner desires, right? inner things that is going to benefit you. So you are what you attract. If you always attracting wicked women that's trying to set you up, and you in poverty, and you out here windmilling for homelessness, talking about, oh, you know, this is all of that, and we not down in people that's impoverished. The Most High Yah say that's a curse. So a wicked man is going to attract wicked women. If you are wicked in the spiritual realm, you are going to be attracting wicked folks. But also, here's another thing with that. If you have certain anointings, you're going to be attracting those type of people because they want to dim that light also. So it's a balanced side. But more than likely, if you a lust-driven man or woman, and you a woman that you trying to seduce men with all that makeup and Marine Kingdom type of stuff, you're going to be attracting those type of dudes. And most of those women that you see into that, you know, looking sensual and stuff like that, a lot of those women don't be wife. They live a life of being on rotation, of promiscuity. Like, everybody is talking about that Lori Harvey situation, and we could use that as a mini example, okay? But we can't really get all the way into that because we don't really know her personally. But I'm just using that as an example. But I'm gonna let him finish reading this post, y'all.
Accountable first, and ask yourself, am I taking care of my kids at the highest level?
Are you taking care of your kids, Dr. Boyce asked y'all, at the highest level? And taking care of the kids, I use Nick Cannon as an example of this. Having kids all around with all these different women, are you really able to be there at the highest level for your kids and protect your kids? If one kid is at this household, one kid is all the way in another state, one kid is there, are you really able to be there? Because being a father, and we know what the example of a father is able to be there for his kids all the time. They're being able to speak life into them, pour into them, train up their child in the way that they should go in a lot of aspects, not just financially, but even on the spiritual side. You feel what I'm saying?
Accountable first, and ask yourself, am I taking care of my kids at the highest level? Am I reading books and learning new skills to put me ahead of the competition?
And your competition is not women. Your competition is not women. So if you're sitting there, because a lot of the times, y'all, I told y'all, as a woman, I deal with, you know, a lot of dusty men. Sometimes they'll hate on these women, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm a successful woman, and you'll have a lot of dusty men. They'll hate on that. Like, they'll mention stuff about your education and you having multiple degrees, and the Most High Yah allowing you to get you know, that high paying job, and they'll say, oh, that counts you out of the race, and no man is looking at that. Why? Because they're not able to be on, it's not that they're not able to be on that level, they're not taking advantage of the opportunities themselves. Like, when I was in college, you know, the kids from other nations, I'll never forget a lady, she put me on. She like, oh, you go for this scholarship, go for this, play this instrument. You know, it's all these scholarships and stuff that people could take advantage of, but they don't. Like, you know, but you see that in other nations that they know they'll go and play the cello, the violin, and different things that could get them put on. But melanated people, like I said, like especially the young men, they're interested more so in infantilism. Not all of the men, because you see there's some men that they do take advantage of things. They do get themselves together and they have that ambition and drive. But a lot of them, they will sit around and look at the woman who the Most High Yah, because nothing happens without the Most High Yah's position. So if these women are allowed to get into these high paying jobs and they work hard and go to school, the Most High Yah allowed this so that the women are able to care for themselves. Because if not, are these men really going to signing up to really take care of these women? Absolutely not, because we could see the numbers, the number of women that are unmarried, the number of baby mamas and stuff like that. We could see it. We could see the evidence in the community.
Competition? Am I taking care of my physical and mental health?
And I want to say this. Are we taking care of the physical and the mental health? Are we going to the gym, taking a walk around the block? And the mental health aspect, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't respect no man that ain't up here talking about the issue in the melanated community where melanated woman is getting mowed down because men can't take, no for an answer, rejection. Or, even some of these women out here, if a dude don't want you or he cheat on you, why are you putting his ashes in the mother's ashes in the river? Like, people are not investing money into their mental health. They spend money on these Jordans. They lined up down the block. But they'll spend money on that car, but they will not go get no help. They holding on to their baby mama, baby daddy did them wrong. Mother had a long list of boyfriends because she was looking for love in all the wrong places. And now I'm gonna use for example, they want to come to your page. You ain't got nothing to do with they sister or brother or whoever doing them wrong, and they want to deal with every woman they meet like that got something to do with them. Or the young lady, they want to deal with every dude that they meet, and they a broken person. They ain't going to get that counseling so they can get their head on straight. Like, this is what I told y'all. I told y'all about what that guy, Dr. Peterson, said. Anybody that make them blanket statements about all men, all women, they got some problems up top. I'm telling you, because every situation is a case by case. And if you a broken person, you should be by yourself. You shouldn't even be trying to date nobody. You done got cheated on, or somebody did you wrong, or you felt this way, that way, or the third. You need to be taking time to yourself, spending time with the Most High, going to counseling, so that you can learn how to work through life issues. Because a lot of people, they don't know how to work through life issues. They don't know how to deal with rejection. They don't know how to deal with just overcoming and problem solving, just basics. They don't know how to deal with that.
Competition? Am I taking care of my physical and mental health? Am I honoring the Black family and Black woman in every way, or making the problem worse with my dating habits? Of course, women and men need to be held accountable, but you can't have an unbalanced conversation.
Boom. There we go. You can't have an unbalanced conversation. You just can't. And anybody out here that's just putting out rhetoric where it's leaning to this side all the way, or it's leaning to this side, we need to be taking accountability all around. And then the second part of, don't be out here trying to correct nobody if you're not a person that is really investing in trying to solve the problem. Are you being that example with your dating habits, with your spending habits, with your lifestyle? Evidence of the lifestyle. We don't want to hear you talk. Evidence of the lifestyle. Are you putting your money where your mouth is? Are you really helping people become better people? Because as a child of the Most High Yah, we supposed to be, putting that fishers, putting our net out and helping bringing souls to the kingdom. And you're not doing that, bashing folks. They want to see the results. They want to really see Yah. They don't want to see you talking, but you in the corner being a drunkard. They want to see your happy wife. They want to see the results of you being a man or woman of Yah. They want to see that. They want to see that. They want to see that. A lot of people want to see that positive nuclear family. They want to see that. So, and I've seen it. And if you only seeing Project Pat, dusty situations, because I like to show y'all the good side of life. We could talk about the negative stuff that's going on, but there's people that don't live in dysfunction. I want y'all to know that. There are people that do not live in dysfunction. And I'm going to show y'all that, because y'all need to see that. All y'all see all day is dysfunction. Y'all need to start seeing functional. That's what y'all need to start seeing. And there's people that's trying to tell y'all that. Glad Dr. Boyce Watkins told y'all it need to be a balanced conversation. Because all this, divest, and they telling you this, go against your own folks, as I know. All of them telling you, that the melanated woman, this, that, and the third, because really it's the same conversation. You have melanated women telling women to divest, and then you seeing the negative effects of that. Because they really want to, if you get the woman, because they already got the man, like I told y'all, if you get the woman is giving birth to the seed line. They are the ones that are bringing the babies from the other realm to the physical. And so if you get them and you get them to produce your seed line, then your seed line live longer than the other seed line, if you understand what I mean. So that's what's really going on right now. They don't want the nuclear family to raise its head, but the Most High Yah is not going to allow them to pull us apart. Like I said, I have love for the melanated man, the Israelite man, and ultimately, I don't see anyone better than him, and that's just what it is. I don't really care, what the enemy is trying to make it look like. And the same with y'all. Y'all should have love and be in love with the melanated woman, the Israelite woman. But y'all, it's like y'all choose to go back and forth, and the Most High Yah is not pleased. So for those of us that's actually trying to have this conversation and trying to invest in this whole situation, we gonna show y'all the positive examples of melanated love, well-rounded children who are raised in Torah. We're gonna show y'all that. But yeah, that's just my perspective, y'all. I will see y'all soon on the next video. I didn't mean to be that long with this video, but I felt like this conversation needed to be had. Toodles. Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.